Welcome back to the Woods Collab podcast. My name is Nakesha Woods, and we have
Mike Woods.
M on his cup for Mike. And we're here today to continue the conversation around your personal and professional development as we talk through our personal and professional development. And so we're going to lean more to the personal side this week, and we're going to be very transparent today as we talk about our fitness goals and our fitness journey.
Yes.
Yeah, dun, dun, dun. So, for me, my journey has been a little bit different and Mike's, but we've learned some things throughout the process, and it is an ongoing process. So, Mike, you want to give a check-in as far as like where you are, where you've come from, where you're going when it comes to your physical journey?
Yes, physical journey. So this year we started back on the focus, the straight and narrow, if you will, with getting back in shape. And I say getting back in shape, accomplishing that fitness goal that we seek to accomplish. So I started back on January 2nd. That first I had to get those New Year's snacks in, just real talk.
That monkey off your back.
I had to get that out. I had to get that. And I believe in that. I believe in getting that up in there. That's what I did. Some might not agree with that approach. I did that. So a couple of years ago, this was 2019 to 2020. Mm-hmm. I had a run where I lost quite a bit of weight. I was in some of my best shape ever. Mm-hmm. And I was grinding so tough. And then next thing you know, just fell off. And I say fell off.
Tell them how much you lost.
That time,
because that might be like, oh, he lost 20 pounds.
No, I lost about. Was it about 80?
It was a little more than 80, about 80.
Okay,
close to 90.
Okay, hey, hey, it's a little more. This is watching my weight out here. Jeez.
Anyway.
So, excuse me. So about you said about 90?
It was close to 90.
It was probably close to 90. Now those last few I was going in, so yeah, but it was all in. It was about close to 90 over about a 1 year period. Again, doing it in no fashion was I starving myself. I was exercising and working out, but I accomplished that goal. Made some sacrifices in order to get there. Following my diet. Accomplished exactly what I need to accomplish. We had some time in there where, we would go out, we have, go on a date or something like that, and we ate what we wanted to eat, but next thing you know, boom, we turned it right back on.
Yeah.
So over a year, lost 80, 90 pounds or so. Then after that, got caught slipping. Started back snacking.
Slipping and sliding.
Started back snacking, started back eating what I wanted to eat, stopped working out as much, got very casual and let go of the commitment that I made for myself. So of course, over time and time again, gained that weight back. Gained just about all but 5 to 10 pounds of it back. Mm-hmm. All of it back. So then this January 2023, I recommitted. And part of that recommitment really was looking back on why I started in the first place. Of course, I could be here for my family, be here for my wife, for my son, be here for myself. But just wasn't feeling the greatest. I picked up some bad habits with just eating what I wanted to eat and when I wanted to. And just lost sight of all the work that I put in order to accomplish my fitness goals at first. So January 2nd was time to I went back to my goals. I said, hey, I got a plan with monitoring my food, sticking to my diet. Started back going to the gym, started back working out at home, but been very committed to that so far. So from January 2nd to now, today's date, what's today's date?
March,
sometime early March. I have... So from a scale standpoint, and we have some thoughts on the scale, but from the scale standpoint,
scale is evil.
I've shaded about 20, just shy of maybe 20 pounds so far. Mm-hmm. But the scale is the scale, so the scale is gonna fluctuate, water, all that good stuff.
Yes.
But the beauty of it is, I see starting to feel better, move around better, sleeping a lot better. Not snoring as much.
Snoring has gone down a lot.
Yep. And starting to fit clothes better, going down in like pant size and that sort of thing. And how to get there, obviously just watching my calories, watching my food, and also just working out about 5-6 times a week. That's just something you don't necessarily have to do, but for me, I just enjoy doing it, and it's helping me to accomplish my goal. So this year, I will accomplish my fitness goals. So right now I'm targeting going back down to about 190 to 200 pounds ish, around there. And right now I'm just on track. And how I got on track is that, hey, I had a goal in mind. Even though I gained all the weight back from the work I put in before, but now I got a goal in mind. I'm going after my goal. I'm sticking to it and not being swayed to move off my record.
Yeah, I think the most remarkable part about your journey is just not giving up, right? Like at the end of the day, people could give up and they could just say it's too hard, or you can get stuck in the funk of, oh, I actually gained it all back, and you can stay there. And instead of you being able to bounce back from that, you have done the opposite, and you have been able to, and you've had that focus. And I mean, your focus is laser focused, and so I appreciate that, seeing that in you. But I think that's a huge part of it.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, because it's one thing it's when I look back on it, like we always all the time we look at some old pictures, and I was like, wow, I was that small, and it was disappointing when you looked at it and say, wow, I was right there. But then it comes a time to like, okay, well, here's what the situation is today.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do about it today?
Yeah.
And I know I had a successful story from before, so now this time I'll have 2 successful stories.
Oh, so positive. I love it.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, this is the wood. No. So what's your thoughts on your journey? Because you've been getting in, working out too, watching what you eat as well.
Yeah. So for me, with my journey, I lost about 37 pounds back in that stretch with Mike. So from 2019 to 2020, I was successful at keeping off the weight for about 2 years, pretty successfully. And then I started hanging out with this dude, and let me tell you, when those ho-hos and ding-dongs start knocking on your door every day, I'm like, okay,
Don't put that
I'll
on me.
say no thank you the first 5 times, but that 6th time I'm gonna partake, right?
So you need to watch the podcast and talk about being accountable for yourself.
I got you. No, at the end of the day, I started to like those great habits that I had, I started to put them down one by one, and I started to pick up a bad habit to replace every good habit for the most part. And so nighttime snacking, I'm not even much of a nighttime snacker. Not really focusing on like the workout the same way and things like that. So I put on, I don't know how much I put on because the scale is evil. But I put on a few pounds. And so as of January 2nd, I started working with Mike to lose the weight. And so right now I'm about 7 pounds off the goal weight. So nothing drastic. It wasn't a huge amount of weight that I gained. But the mental, like that holiday season, I literally looked at Mike and said, I need to see a therapist on my food, because I really truly feel that overeating is an addiction, because you're not just doing it because you're bored. Like, you're doing it because there is some drive and pull in you that is making you make choices that you're disappointed by and you feel ashamed by, or you don't want to do them anymore. And I mean, I had excuse after excuse, but at some points it wasn't, oh, it's just a holiday event at work, or, oh, it's just, we're having a gathering, or so-and-so's birthday. It was like, no, I literally ate this cake, whole cake. And now I'm looking for something else, like a little rat running around trying to find something to eat.
Oh my goodness.
This is my journey, right? Don't judge my journey.
No judgment.
Safe space, brave space. So for me, I was making these decisions contrary to all the things that I taught myself over the 2 years of maintaining a healthier weight. And so I was very disappointed by that. And then same thing like Mike, like I would wake up in the middle of the night and just think about, oh my gosh, like, why am I still full, right? Why did I have to eat that second helping? Why did I do these things? And I didn't feel in control of my eating. And so I had to go back to the basics. That's the term that we've used, because it was like, if you strip back all of the bad habits that you started to pick up, what are the basic things that you know you should do? And so had to challenge myself to that. I never really got bad off of the working out or, anything extreme, but those pounds started to add up and those pants started to feel a little tighter. And at the end of the day, it wasn't what I wanted for myself. And so I am back on my journey. And so I have a few pounds left to go. But I think for us, the most part is just really treating it like a lifestyle and not an end game. And so, even though I might have those pounds at the scale, and I'll tell you why the scale is evil in a minute, but I might not reach the number that the scale says I should, or I do reach that number. That doesn't define who I am. At the end of the day, am I doing the right things for myself? Am I showing up for myself each day? Am I making sure I'm moving enough? Am I making sure I'm eating vegetables and doing the nutrition? Am I making sure that I'm watching what I'm putting into my body and consuming? Am I having a balance with that and not an overindulgence? And so those are the things that I have to be guided by. And so for the scale, because I wanted to hit a number, that became my focus. That was like my drug, if you will. I took down the food and I put the scale in its place. And it was like, if the scale said I lost 0.4, it depends on how long it had been. But if it says 0.4, that could be great, or it could be detrimental and make me want to cry, right? Or if I gained weight, then that was something, because I'm like, I put in all this time and all this work and I actually went up a pound or 2 pounds. And so I wasn't really focusing on doing the right thing. I was focusing on wanting to skip ahead to the outcome that I wanted. And so for me, now I only weigh myself once a month because I'm like, okay, I want to see my month's body of work and not necessarily the ups and downs, ebbs and flows of, okay, well, I drank a bunch of water or I had too much salt, or, there's so many different things that impact the scale. And then we focus on what we call non-scale victories, because there's things that happen for you that is considered a victory, even if it's not a scale. So what are some examples of a non-scale victory?
It goes back to how you can endure a workout. Let's say if you have a machine at the gym, or if you're working out at home, you could be at home doing, some planks or push-ups. Like, can you do more? That'd be a non-scale victory. The way clothes fit, you may figure out clothes fit a lot better. Might have to go down in a waist size. That would be a non-scale victory. It could be how much more energy you have now compared to a couple months before when you walk up the steps.
Yeah.
That's a non-scale victory. And that scale is like, the scale is a reflection of what it is. And it comes with like understanding how the body works. Like we had to understand like, hey, if I'm like right now I've been drinking, you notice here I've been drinking water.
We think it's water.
Yeah. Drinking more water is important to make sure I stay hydrated. So if I get on the scale tomorrow, I may be a pound heavier than I was when I got on the scale last week, and maybe I didn't have any water. So understanding how the scale works, and that's a reflection. But like you mentioned, those non-scale victories is key because it helps you to identify some of the wins in the journey. And like even now, you talk about the food is making that decision. Like even earlier today, we did some meal prepping and preparation for the week. So then you start to understand yourself and understand your habits. Where if we're not prepared to say eat a thing, we may be a little more likely to go and maybe buy something. But if we prepare it now, we may say, hey, nope, I already spent the money on that. In no fashion, I'm going to throw that money away.
Preparation is key. Like seriously. Like if you don't prepare, what will happen is you'll get hungry and you'll find yourself in a desperate situation. I get hangry. We know that. Okay, whatever. Yes. But I have to eat. If I don't eat and I'm hungry, then life decisions have to be made, right? And it might be that fast food restaurant, or that candy bar that rolls from under the seat of the car at that exact moment might be the thing that's in front of you, and then you make a decision, right? And so always making sure we have the right foods in the house, always making sure I pack a bag of snacks in case, just in case I get hungry. We just did that yesterday. We went to an outing. Oh my gosh. We went to an outing yesterday, and we knew that there was going to be a spread, like a whole spread of everything you can imagine to eat or drink. And so we decided that, you know what, we know about this in advance. We're going to make sure we eat our meal and our dinner before we leave. We're going to track what we eat. And when we go, we're going to not partake. Or if we're going to partake, we would have planned for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I took a protein bar just in case I get hungry because I take snacks. Somebody wanted my protein bar at about 11 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So he got my protein bar because I didn't need it. And then he was able to eat that. And when we came home, we smashed, but we smashed on things that are healthy for us and help us to stay in control of what we're putting in our bodies. So
yeah, and that's in no way. So that's understanding what you're willing to sacrifice and whatnot. Because in no way do I don't believe in starving. We don't believe
not
in,
at all.
It's being intentional with what we eat. Mm-hmm. But that was like a decision that we made for ourselves to say, hey, you know what? We already ate earlier. We could probably eat a little bit later. In that particular moment, we made a decision not to. Now, in a couple of weeks, we might decide to go to a restaurant and maybe have a little bit of a good time. But rest assured for us, we're going to plan for that. So whatever works for you. You may look at it and say, hey, you know what? No, I need a little bit of a stretch. And that's kind of where I am now, is that we need a little bit more of a stretch before we open up to do some more things so that we could set that pattern in a little bit more firm. Mm-hmm. So what we'll do, we'll provide you all with some frequent check-ins. Hopefully you can hold ourselves accountable. Tell you what, if you look up and it's 3 months and we haven't even mentioned it again, please send us a message and say, hey, what the heck is going on?
Y'all over there eating.
Yeah. So if we're not talking about it, we won't fall back. But we want to share this part of the journey with you all as we go, because there's going to be a point we're going to look back on that as well. So for you too, if you're dealing with some fitness goals that you're working through, again, it may come with certain obstacles, certain sacrifices that we may need to make, but we're going to work on this thing together. We're going to get through it. Keisha's going to get through it. I'm going to get through it. You're going to get through it.
All right. So I'm going to close this out today.
Yeah. Identify your goal, your fitness goal, and let's do whatever we got to do to go after it. Very simple. No nonsense, no excuses. Let's accomplish all those fitness goals. We'll keep you all posted. This is
Nakesha Woods.
I'm Mike Woods with a Woods Collab.